Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Wrong One's podcast. I'm Dinesh Sagi, joined by Amar and Punk. How are we, gents?
Hi guys,
Yeah.
all good? How are
All
you?
good.
Yeah, not too
All
bad.
good, man.
Midweek, so yeah, slowly getting there. It's almost weekend time, so yeah, in good spirits.
Almost. That is important. Good spirits.
Talking about good spirits, GT. I mean, let me start by asking, a lot of people I spoke to before IPL kicked off, the impression they've had is GT might struggle this season. Do you guys agree to that? In terms of obviously looking at the squad initially versus how well they delivered. Is that a fair assumption?
Well, from me, like it was Siraj, right? And I did, in a
Mm-hmm.
podcast review, I did talk about Siraj.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I told he could be the guy who could be your, weakling, or he could be, And if you see out of the four matches they won, two
Mm-hmm.
is Siraj, right? And the one they lost was Siraj again. You see,
Yeah.
so rest of the squad when we reviewed, we did tell in Ahmedabad Gill has scored so many runs, Sai
Yes.
Sudarshan has scored runs, so they had like a good opening pair
Yeah.
in terms of that. So like it was just that one because definitely Siraj is going to play all the 14 games, right? And if he
Mm-hmm.
was coming back good, right? So and if you see all the games now they're winning, is Siraj giving that opening spell and getting those wickets,
Mm-hmm.
because the middle order with Rashid Khan, and like not everybody can negotiate Rashid. You might find one or two players, but not everybody can hit him, right? So
Mm-hmm.
he comes really good, and now they've got Sai Kishore as well. Okay, he is turning it around for them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's like and as I've told you, right, Nera is that one guy where bowlers excel within that squad.
That's essentially where I'm
Most
coming
of the
from, right?
bowlers.
So we when we reviewed the squad, I remember talking about the batting lineup. I said, "Oh, top three, they're really strong. A lot dependent on Gill, and obviously with Josh Butler joining GT, we thought, okay, the top three are sorted, but their middle order hasn't been tested to the extent they should have been. With like the likes of Shah Rukh Khan, it's like a hit and go. And then Tiwatia, yes, he won those odd occasions, but he hasn't really batted to the extent he should have. And then we haven't seen much of Rutherford either at the time. So we were like, yes, they might be batting strong, but not to the extent. But to me, the biggest surprise was the bowlers. The again, I mentioned this in the previous podcast as well, right? The Indian pace attack, the likes of Ishan Sharma, Prasidh Krishna, Mohammad Siraj, these guys are actually turning it on. And the point you made, Punk, Sai Kishore, all the focus was on Rashid Khan, when the IPL started. And then Sai Kishore is like, no one has seen this coming. He's the trump card all of a sudden, which is height, and obviously now with the slow, loopy spin. It seems to be really, really turning the tables around for a GT. I mean, after like 5 games, what they're at top of the table today.
Yeah, he's a big surprise, isn't it? And he is a tall guy. Today, you saw when he was bowling to Rutherford what a high bounce he got in one of the balls. He was almost like a pacer bounce, and that is because of his height
Hmm.
as well. There's an element of Anil Kumble as well there. So when he wants to get that, and batsmen don't anticipate that much bounce from a spinner, so he
Hmm.
gets that. And also he's very clever bowler. He has variations as well, and he varies his length. That is the key. In today's T20 era, you want to keep batsmen guessing. Of course, he's not a mystery bowler, so he has to rely on these kind of variations.
Hmm.
He plays with line and mostly with length as well. So he has been a surprise, and he's one of the guys who has kind of made a difference for GT, because initially when we talked about the squad, it didn't look like these guys will be making huge difference, but they are making. I mean, Sai Kishore and Sai Sudarshan we have seen in the past as well. He's a good batsman. He makes good runs up front, but yeah, they're kind of giving a good performance every single time. Now, along with that, we have performances from Joss Butler, Rutherford, which are coming now. So they are also coming back to form. Shubman Gill as well at times. So it's coming to they're coming to full potential. But as Punk mentioned, Siraj is that X factor there.
Hmm.
When he's on, he is really, really devastating, and he goes for the kill. So, and of course, the Prasidh Krishna, he's bowling well as well. So, I mean, all in all, this team is looking very good at the moment. Hopefully, they continue this way, and you never know. And down the line, Shah Rukh Khan will come into life, and then middle order
Yes.
will also be settled. Rahul Tewatia, any day, he can just hit those sixes whenever needed.
Yeah.
So good.
And just to let you know, right? They only played with three foreign players.
Hmm.
Okay, they have a Glenn Phillips, there if they need that power in the middle order, right? So
Yeah,
just shows that, like, having the Indian pace bowling attack, uh, gives you that, help to
freedom,
actually, if
right?
you want to,
Yeah.
yeah, freedom to go, so even if you're opening, like you Sai Sudarshan,
Hmm.
and the way, like, if you see the interview which Sai gave, right, he told that, like, I've been there to make sure that, I bat deep, so
Hmm.
that, and conserve the wickets, so that we have those hitters who can come in, and that's what they're trying to do. Both Gill and Sai, they're not losing those wickets, like,
A friend, yeah.
and
Hmm.
then, yeah, and then you have Joss Butler as well, right? So 1, 2, 3 is like, and the best thing about Sai is not he's not trying to hit those balls like blindly.
Hmm.
He's adjusting to the pitches, and he's got like four half centuries
Yeah,
in the 5
in the
matches
five
they
innings
played.
he played so far,
It
yeah.
shows that, consistency is, and this is why you need such players, right?
Hmm.
Who can accelerate. And if you see his acceleration is around the 150 mark, which I told as an opener, if you can hit that 150, that means in and around anybody on your middle order, right, can come. And today, what happened was, Shah Rukh Khan played really well.
Hmm.
He was sent at 4. So now, again, people will ask why, Sundar was not sent. You know, if you see the innings, how it like, went on with Joss and this guy, Sai, right? They batted really long, yeah, and you needed a power hitter. And we know that Sundar is not a power hitter as such, right? And with Shahrukh, they just wanted somebody who could just come and, hit, get that runs quickly. And then, and he was sent at 4. He went out first ball. He just, like, he wanted to go out and, like, express himself, and he did really well. The way he came and, batted brilliantly with, without any, like, the thought that, okay, I'm going to lose wickets or anything like that, and that helps, and they already had, like, Washington, Rutherford, Tewatia, and they didn't need that impact at all, you see. So, and this is where I see that your coach and your captain are working, gelling very well
Hmm.
together.
Hmm.
And Gill, and you can see, and the best thing about Nera, he's always there, in the years of the captain, sending those notes. Okay, if he's trying to course correct anything which is going wrong in the field, off field, and
Yeah.
he's very involved,
Hmm.
He's like
and
a football manager.
yeah, and that is
Absolutely,
what we
he's
need.
always on the sideline, right? He's going to, like, talking to
Yeah.
some of the fast bowlers on the other side of the pitch, or he's like in
Mm.
the captains, like the skipper CS all the time. So I think that's great
and
to have like that sort of a
and
presence.
having a young captain, right,
Hmm.
this is where your coach also has to be hands on to give them that guidance, and, get it. And the good thing is, like, both Gill and him are gelling well.
Hmm.
They've got a good, like, like a decent team, which is gelling together. They know their weaknesses, they know their strengths,
Hmm.
and they're not trying to overdo any thing, or, out of that, right? So it's a good team, and, like, yeah, looks good now.
Yeah, and
So
also one thing I'm happy about is 2 wickets for Rashid Khan
mhm.
today, and of course Prasidh Krishna has got 3. But it's important that Rashid Khan gets into that wickets column.
Mhm.
To he will grow in confidence, which last year he wasn't in. In he was kind of light in the wickets column, but now he's getting onto that, so that
Mhm.
can only strengthen GT.
Yeah. And the reason I've raised this at the start of the call is because the word that you just used, Punk. We're saying it's a decent team. We're not saying it's an X factor team. There's no X factor players in the squad. But even then, time and again, the Sai Sudarshan, he doesn't score at 300 strike rate, but he's always getting you those 50s, saving those wickets in the power play. And then the likes of Shah Rukh Khan in today's game, or Washington Sundar in the last game against Hyderabad, can come unleash, score quick fire, 30, 40.
You see the 2023 GT team,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
and even the one before 2022. So you see how Gill and Sai were there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the other team which went to the finals in 2023 was CSK.
Mm-hmm.
You see how Rutu and Conway was like always there.
Yeah.
So if your openers are, and you see Conway and Ruturaj,
Mm-hmm.
and look at Shivam Gill and Sai Sudarshan,
Yeah.
they are the same.
Yeah.
You see, in terms of they're not your Abhishek Sharma,
Yeah.
or they're not the new guy, who's just
Mm-hmm.
now Priyansh Arya. Right? They
Priyansh
will
Arya.
give
Yeah.
you, yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
will give you one good game, two good games,
Mm-hmm.
but you will have more, losses in terms of like losing wickets. That thing will be there.
Mm-hmm.
But with these guys, you will get a stable, a consistency of runs, 30, 40, 50s. They will give you that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that, what happens is then the next people like who come, the intent which you need to bat, those factors make a huge difference. So you need to have those power hitters. Josh Butler is one of them. Shah Rukh Khan, they also have a Tiwatia. They have a Rutherford who can actually, go, accelerate that innings, right? So even
Mm-hmm.
if these guys are 130 to 150 strike rate, which as an opener, which you need, the rest of the guys, if you look, they went to 217 because you had guys there with 180 strike rates, 200 plus strike rates, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason they reached that 220. And these teams will more often will win more matches than
Yeah.
having just X factors in your team.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
these guys have taken on the bowlers which don't go for that many runs usually, like Tiksana, 13.5 his economy today. Sandeep Sharma 10.25, and these guys don't go for that many runs. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Tushar Deshpande can go for runs, but he picks up wickets. He's picked 2 wickets. But again, these guys, these batters of GT, they have taken on the guys which don't usually go for runs. I mean, um, so yeah, it's good. They are kind of lining them up, and you can see why, because when there are these difficult bowlers,
Mm-hmm.
you tend, if the runs come of them, you tend to get from guys like Sai Sudarshan, Shubman Gill. He didn't make many runs today, but usually you get from him, of these bowlers, um, and Joss Butler. So you can see how, what the contest is here.
No, absolutely right. On the flip side, RR. They start off with two losses, then they manage to win two in a row, and then again another loss. Again, this is where I thought this is the team that's going to score 200 for fun every game, because Jaiswal, Sanju Samson, Nitish Rana, Riyan Parag, Dhruv Jurel, Shimron Hitmaier, even the Shubham Dubey guy apparently has 180 strike rate in T20. So the top seven scores at 170, 180 strike rate, and then today they struggle to put 150 together. It's just time for a little bit of panic, because obviously one of the things I've noticed, right, and I was just thinking about it, last season when they had these big targets to chase, Josh Butler was actually scoring those massive centuries, and help them get over. Yes, Sanju Samson contributed, Riyan Parag had a good season, Jaiswal did as well, but when it came to the 230, 240 chases, it was Josh Butler who actually held one end. All of a sudden, I'm just wondering, are they lacking, that sort of anchor batsman in the top three?
Well, it was important for today's chase that Jaswal should have played, scored more runs, but he could not.
Hmm.
And in the last game as well, when he was hitting, and we could see that he was quite aggressive, and both he and Sanju Samson in the previous game
Hmm.
gave that start. Today, Jaswal went early, and then Nitish Rana as well. So back to back wickets. Also, we see that Nitish Rana again back to number three. So there's a clear, you know, horses for courses kind of strategy here with Nitish Rana and Riyan Parag. So I don't know if that is impacting or, but yeah, two quick wickets up front. That kind of really, two over 200 chase. You need some kind of partnership. If the opener, one of the openers fall, then your number three has to stay for some time. But this it didn't happen here.
Hmm.
So and then Riyan Parag had to come and play a rescue kind of innings. So
Yeah.
there itself you can see, the run chase was halted just there.
Hmm.
Usually Dhruv Jurel would also show some resistance, but it didn't happen. So I mean, it's just that it didn't really click for them today.
Yeah. On Rana,
Yeah,
I'm just
like
wondering. Sorry, Panka. On Rana, I'm just wondering, is it like what every team is doing? I think they're trying to keep that left-right combination. So if Jaiswal goes early, Rana walks in, or if Samson goes early, Parag might walk in. That's exactly what I've seen with what happened with GT as well, where Shahrukh Khan walked in as soon as Gill, not Gill, Josh Patel got out.
okay, so it's like it's not that also, like there is a planning, there's a brain behind that, how they
Hmm.
got Nitish Rana out, right?
Yeah.
So see, the thing is, and this is why I'm saying Nehra has got, like, some brains in his head, and he knows those bowlers. The way he got Nitish Rana out was like, wide Yorker, right? So, and they were angling him towards the thing, and like to do that, you have to have like a brain, and they were not trying any others, like in three balls, and he's just angling. He tried to hit one, and because they knew the runs is so much, that the batsman will make more mistakes than you trying to pick up wickets, right? So for a bowler to pick up wickets, they'll do line and length ball and all that, right? And if a batsman wants to hit, it's easier to hit those length balls, which are like, a middle stump. They'll just scoop it, and either side they can hit. But when you know that, they have to hit like a six or a boundary for every ball, right? So they were trying to actually conserve those boundaries rather than, going for the wickets, you see. And this is where that strategy worked, and Nitish just tried to scoop it and you got caught. So there's a planning behind this, right? The bowlers, they came with a plan for each and every batsman for RR, and that's how they executed it. And like once they got Jaiswal out, they got like Nitish Rana. If say the score was 80 for 2, in the power play, then they still had a chance to, they were like around 50, 55, 50, and with 220, which is like close to 11 runs, you're already behind in the power play where you can maximize the score, right? And getting those two wickets, and as of now, the only team which has won in this IPL for our chasing, 200 was DC, and they were lucky. Okay, they were lucky because and the ninth wicket,
Ashutosh
took
Sharma obviously turned it on.
Ashish, it turned it, like even then they lost it because if you see that wicket, Moisha
Yeah,
would
Mohit
have
Sharma.
easily
Yeah,
been, that
stumped.
is the simple stumping,
Hmm.
so, and that was like out of the blue, they, like
Hmm.
they did not get the thing. It was out of the blue, it went out of the game, or that
Yeah.
game also wouldn't have been chased,
Hmm.
because if you lose so many wickets up front, yeah,
Hmm.
it's very difficult for the team to come back, right?
Yeah.
So these are few things like which, when you run chases, right, you
Hmm.
will have to make sure that if you're losing one or two wickets, then at least your run rate is 12 plus in that power play.
Hmm.
Then there's an opportunity for the other guys to come in and still slow down a bit.
Hmm.
And even if they go to 10 runs, by the time they're like 120 for 12 overs, then if you double that,
Hmm.
technically you are more or less, you can chase 220. but
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, you just like have to be careful with how many wickets you lose up front. So and like this is not like out of the blue. There was a strategy which I've seen the bowlers they had a strategy against each and every
And they
batsman.
executed it so
And
well as
Naira
well.
is very well, very well.
Hmm.
And with just three foreign players as well, just shows
Yeah.
that the core Indian strength also is very strong.
Hmm. Absolutely. Uh,
Yeah, and also I would like to mention one thing with RR here, that um, Jaiswal hasn't been on fire this season. I mean, in the
Mhm.
last game he did did play a very good innings, and he was attacking as well.
Mhm.
But he has played 5 matches now, and I'm
He's
just
only
looking
scored
at
like,
his
yeah,
stat. Yeah, is
170.
no 107, not 170.
I mean, he scored one score of
Oh,
70 runs.
170. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, apart from that, he
107.
hasn't really contributed. Yeah.
Yeah, and with an average of 21.4 at a
Hmm.
strike rate of 127.
Yeah.
So he needs to do something about it. There's a quite a big reliance on him. Today we saw, even if Sanju Samson made 41.
Hmm.
Of course, Nitish Rana couldn't make runs, but then again, if that even 30 runs, if RR would have got from Jaswal, it
Hmm.
would have made some difference.
Absolutely. But obviously, with all that, downfall, obviously there's some bright spot for RR, which is Jafra Archer. How he struggled
Yeah.
in the first two games, but since then he seems to have found his mojo. He's been like bowling exceptionally well, and the pace.
Yeah, his pace is going up, isn't it? And also, like when Punk mentioned that there are uncapped players who have never seen the such kind of pace with such a smooth action,
Hmm.
they will struggle. But now he's got that mojo back, as Punk would say, the flick of the wrist.
Hmm.
Even the well seasoned players are also struggling
Hmm.
against him. So well, like Gill and even Butler as well. He was kind of struggling against him. So um, we see this is what was required of Jofra Archer. And I think even England would say that they needed him to turn up when they came to India, but and also in Champions Trophy. But yeah, he's back now. He's bowling really well. He's proving to be lethal, and yeah, 4 overs at the economy of 7.5 from a fast bowler.
Yeah.
That's like gold dust.
Just to add to this, right?
Hmm.
So there was an interview after the game, right? Or like mid innings game with Sai Sudarshan, because he scored that 80 odd runs, and they did ask him like is like Joe Fracher is the fastest bowler you have faced, like, and then he did tell last year it was Nokia, which but Jofra has that notch slightly faster, and this, like, he did tell that this is the fastest bowler I faced side, right? So just shows like is bowling like 145, 149 for like for fun, and I told you like it was his elbow injury, right? And that is the reason like uh, with and as time passes, right?
Hmm.
That elbow will get strengthened because your bowling arm and your the muscle memory will come back
Yeah.
and things. Now he's got the zip now, which I can see,
Hmm.
and the ball is and the swing is back as well.
Yeah.
So actually, more than swing, you can say the seam is back actually,
Hmm.
right? With that ball coming in, the way he got Gill out, he just missed. It was really quick,
Hmm.
and he missed the pace, right? So just that's very good for RR, right? It's just that like they need to get a little bit of Jaiswal's form back, right?
Hmm.
Because if it's not, even if Jaiswal is like 140, 150, if you can give the 30, 40 runs, right?
Hmm.
And just strengthen the opening partnership, then this team has that, they have everything them to
They have the
take it
potential.
forward.
It's just
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
things have to
Absolutely.
fall in place.
Yeah.
I mean, the other positive for RR is they only lost by 70 runs. So, it's not a big issue in the
But
context of.
this is but this is the problem, right? What happens is like your net run rate, like when you lose like 70, 80 runs, right?
Hmm.
You see, you might win some close games like with 5
Yeah,
runs, 10 runs, but when you lose by 70, 80 runs, the net run rate this year is going to be a challenge for a
absolutely.
lot of teams. The fourth guy, right? The
Yeah.
fourth team is going to struggle with net run rate.
Yeah.
I'm really sure about it. A lot of teams are losing with like huge margins.
Hmm.
That the last if the game is out of the game, right, at least try to bring it below the 50-30 range, right, which can
Yeah, just
but losing
bat
with
20
70,
overs
80
and
runs
try and see
is,
where you can get. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So
Anyway, hopefully things improve for RR, and the GT continues their good form. Really quickly before we wrap up tomorrow, RCB, DC, the top rank one and rank two and rank three now in points table. Who's your pick?
Oh God, I'll go with RCB.
Like it. Punk.
I
In
like the
Bangalore.
Josh.
It's Bangalore home, yes.
Yeah, let's go for DC, man. Let's have another fun.
Good.
But RCB is a stronger team.
Absolutely. I mean, DC has a confidence and they haven't lost a game so far. They played 3-1-3. So
Yeah.
let's see how
The
well.
only thing is the spinners might be negated in RCB, right? That's the
And they
only
also have the
problem with
brains
DC.
of Kevin Peterson, who actually used to play for Bangalore. So he sort of
Yeah.
knows a thing or two about the Chinnaswamy Stadium. But yeah, on that note, thank you, gents, as always. It's been a pleasure. Great insights. For our viewers, subscribers, whoever you are, please do share your feedback, comments. We always appreciate any feedback. And then, over to you, Amar.
And hit the bell icon.
Please subscribe, hit the bell icon. Make a punk popular. He deserves it. Thank you, and have a good night.
Good night.
Right, guys. See you tomorrow.
Later.